Just looking at your face makes me want to vomit. Can you just disappear from my sight? Oh, but leave the money before you vanish, okay? You've wasted my precious time, after all. Let's say, $5,000 should be enough. Do I really have to ask such a person for help? But this is about our future. When I showed my grandmother the note my dad left, she tore up the paper and said to me, "I don't want any more trouble. Raise the three of them on your own. How can I? My sisters are still in elementary school. I don't even know how I'm going to make a living. Please, can't we stay here and live together? I'll do housework. I'll make sure to contribute financially too. Don't make me say it again. Who's going to take care of you guys? Just try not to embarrass yourselves." I was wrong to have even a sliver of hope. My name is Isabella Johnson. At 28, I'm enjoying my single life, both work and personal aspects thriving. There's a reason I've managed to live this life. I have 3 younger sisters: Sophia, Victoria, and the youngest Christina. Although we live separately now, we keep in touch frequently and share meals together. We are very close sisters. Without them, I wouldn't be who I am today. Mom. Mom. Sophia. Stop it. But Mom has. I know. Let's just stop. That day, our beloved mother passed away. The cause was a myocardial infarction due to stress from overwork. Despite being married, she raised the 4 of us all by herself. Our dad, despite working, never contributed his salary to the household, instead squandering it on another woman, to the tune of over $100,000. Because of this, our mom had to work day and night to support us. She even took us to a park on her days off. Despite being busy and struggling, she never lost her smile, a wonderful and proud mother. Wanting to help her even a little, I started a part-time job at a farm owned by a family friend when I was in junior high. The pay was $200 a month. It wasn't much, but it helped with our living expenses. Mom, this is my wages. It's not much, but please use it. Mom was visibly happy when I handed her the envelope with money. I couldn't help but smile, knowing I could help her. But she said, "Thank you, Isabella, but I can't accept this money. Use it for yourself." I insisted, but her determined look didn't change, a testament to her strength as a mother who had raised 4 children. "Okay. But please tell me if it ever gets too tough. I'm here too." That life continued for 4 years. It wasn't a wealthy life, but it was somewhat happy. Yet, fate can be cruel. A month later, she fell ill and passed away suddenly. Overwhelmed with grief, my sisters couldn't stop crying. Mom. Maybe I hadn't fully accepted that she was gone, as I was the only one not crying. Many people who admired her came to her funeral, and we sent her to heaven surrounded by them. From now on, we 5 will strive together. I made that promise in my heart. However, it was betrayed far too soon. Dad was gone. One morning, I went to the living room and found a note on the table. "Live well. If you have any trouble, go to Grandma's place. Dad." The note was written as if he was addressing a stranger. Yet, seeing it didn't really affect me, as I had anticipated something like this would happen. It was clear that Dad had been in an affair with a woman he liked, and he had gone to her immediately after Mom's death. I didn't tell my sisters about the note when they woke up. I didn't want to worry them unnecessarily. After sending them to school as usual, I went to see my grandma, Debbie. "What are you doing here?" "I came to ask you for help today." Debbie is my father's mother. I met her only once when I was very little. She loves money and despises children. The cold gaze and demeaning words she directed at me the first time we met still haunt my dreams even 10 years later. She was always cold to Mom, far worse than to me. The harsh words and sarcasm she hurled at Mom were so severe that even I, as a child, understood how terrible they were. After that, Mom never met Grandma again, and neither did I. I never thought I would have to meet her ever again. Just looking at your face makes me want to vomit. Can you just disappear from my sight? Oh, but leave the money before you vanish, okay? You've wasted my precious time, after all. Let's say, $5,000 should be enough. Do I really have to ask such a person for help? But this is about our future. When I showed her the note my dad left, she tore up the paper and said to me, "I don't want any more trouble. Raise the three of them on your own." How can I? My sisters are still in elementary school. I don't even know how I'm going to make a living. Please, can't we stay here and live together? I'll do housework. I'll make sure to contribute financially too. Don't make me say it again. Who's going to take care of you guys? Just try not to embarrass yourselves. I was wrong to hope, even a little. I couldn't face the reality unfolding in front of me and stood there dumbstruck. Grandma watched me with a devilish grin. Exhausted, I returned to our apartment. "Hi, Bella." "Christina? Why are you here?" "What about school?" Some boys were making fun of Mom, so I told them to stop and pushed one, then the teacher scolded me. I got so mad I came home. Christina has always been spirited, often said to be more like a boy than the neighborhood boys. She's the most temperamental among us sisters, and uncontrollable when angry. I get that it's upsetting to be made fun of, but you can't do things like that. It's only natural for the teacher to scold you. Let's go back to school and apologize. I'll come with you. Why should I? It's not my fault. It's because those boys were making fun of Mom. Even so, it's not right. Mom would be sad to know you did that. Christina looked down, saying nothing more. We went to school together, apologized to her classmates, and they apologized for making fun of our mom. I left Christina at school and headed back to the apartment, tears welling up as I worried about our future. Is this how things are going to be from now on? Can I really raise my three sisters alone, without anyone's help? The next day, our new life began. I had gotten a part-time job at a nearby factory. During the interview, they offered me a full-time position, but I chose part-time due to the need to take care of my sisters. I opted for the higher-paying night shifts at the factory. Though the unfamiliar work and night shifts were exhausting, it was necessary to support our living. My salary went entirely to our living expenses. However, that wasn't enough for the four of us, so I also started a day job at a store. Juggling multiple jobs brought a little relief, but life was still a tightrope walk. We covered our living expenses with my factory earnings, and the rent and other expenses with my store wages. I had no personal time, but if it meant my sisters could live happily, I didn't mind. I resolved to work tirelessly for them as they progressed through middle school, high school, and university, just like our mother had always supported us. Even if I suffered, I would not let them endure the same hardships. Just like our mother, I was now the support for my sisters. Fortunately, their school fees were covered by Mom's inheritance. Perhaps she had anticipated this and left us the inheritance for that reason. Her will stated, "All my inheritance goes to my daughters." 2 years passed, and I turned 20. On my birthday, my sisters surprised me. "Happy birthday, Bella. This is from all three of us." They gave me a cardigan. "Thank you. I'll cherish it." The cardigan had a 70% discount tag, but that didn't matter. What mattered was that they had chosen it with care. Despite the hardships, we were living happily, which was what truly mattered. Years went by, and all my sisters graduated high school and went on to university. Another years passed, and they became independent. As they moved out, my days without privacy ended, and I finally had some time for myself. Having personal time felt incredibly wonderful, yet I thought, I must keep striving. Just as I was feeling a bit sentimental early in the morning, the doorbell rang. Who could it be this early? It was unusual to have visitors at 8 a.m. As I tidied my hair and cracked open the door slightly, a familiar face appeared. "It's been a long time. Why are you here?" Seeing Grandma's face brought back not nostalgia, but the revulsion I felt back then. To think you live in such a shabby apartment. It's just like your life, isn't it? It's surprising your father even remembered where you live. I would have forgotten all about it. Dad had left us for another woman 10 years ago. I had tried to forget him and the painful past. Where is Dad now? Nobody cares about a discarded child, you pathetic orphan. Grandma's attitude towards me hasn't changed since then. She comes at me with a devilish grin, spewing sarcasm. Why is it that after not seeing my granddaughter for 10 years, I feel nothing? What are you even doing here? What am I here for? Obviously, to see how miserably my poor granddaughters have been living. Your stories are quite popular as jokes among my friends. Grandma's spiteful words flowed more freely as she continued. Well, where are your sisters? Surely, you're not living here all alone, are you? Or maybe you really are. Have you finally been abandoned by them as well? No one likes a life of poverty, after all. Can you stop already? I'm not free to deal with this. Upset just because I teased you a bit? That's why everyone disappears from around you. Your sisters, my son, and that wretched woman too. Hearing her mock the life our mother sacrificed for us brought me to the brink of rage, but Grandma continued, oblivious. 10 years ago, you were begging not to be abandoned, and now you barely listen to me. Have you grown so proud? Or maybe there's some dangerous person in your back. How scary. In the quiet morning hours in a corner of a residential area, Grandma harassed me loudly enough for passers-by heading to work to turn and look. Stop it, please. Why should I stop? This is such a great stress relief. Why should I stop unless you give me something worthwhile? Something worthwhile? Don't you get it? When I say something worthwhile, I mean money, of course. After saying her piece and even attempting to take my money, Grandma continued. Hurry up and hand it over. I know from your father that you've been saving all the money you earned. So, how much have you saved? I'll take responsibility and spend it all, just give it to me now. She smirked wickedly. Probably, reasoning with her was futile. Yet, if I let her leave now, who knows what she might do? I really didn't have time for this. That's when. Bella, good morning. What's going on? Christina. Christina had come to meet me. I had lost track of time due to Grandma's antics, but it seemed it was almost time for our appointment. Who is this old lady? Old lady? Who are you, exactly? Huh? It's polite to introduce yourself first. Wah. These two were definitely not a good match. This is my sister, Christina. Sister? But I thought your sisters had abandoned you. Why would we abandon Bella? What's this old lady talking about? This brat. Grandma was clearly irritated by Christina's words. In contrast, Christina seemed clueless about what was happening. Bella, are you ready? We need to hurry or we'll be late. Sorry, I'll get ready quickly. As I went to prepare. Hey. What are you trying to do on your own? Wait, what in the world are you doing here? We're in a hurry. You dare speak to your own grandmother like that? What kind of upbringing leads to such a bratty child? I don't have to take that from someone I just met. Besides, you're in the way, so please be quiet. As the two began arguing in front of the door, neighbors peeked out cautiously. Christina, calm down. Perhaps my words had calmed her, as Christina's expression returned to normal. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to talk anymore. I need to get ready. If that's the case, just give me the money now. Otherwise, I'll. Just then, the sound of a car horn interrupted her, and as we looked toward the road, a car had stopped. Then, from inside the car, Bella, are you ready? We've come to pick you up, shouted Sophia and Victoria. Only Grandma didn't recognize who they were. But what shocked her even more was the car they were in. Wait, that car is. A car? It's no wonder Grandma was shocked. The vehicle Sophia and Victoria were in was worth over $200,000. That's my car. I lent it to my sisters because they wanted to drive it. Your car. Who do you think you are? Listening in, Christina informed Grandma about my status. Who do you think she is? She's the CEO of a company. What? When I explained to Grandma that I was the president of an apparel company, she was dumbfounded. After our mom passed away, we were abandoned by both our father and grandmother. I had to raise my 3 sisters alone, and it was financially tough. We couldn't even afford new clothes for them. That's when I thought, maybe I'll try making them myself. From that day, I decided to make my sisters' clothes. I bought cheap sewing tools, borrowed books from the library, and learned to sew by trial and error. The initial attempts were awkward and lacked style, but my sisters were happy to wear them. Seeing their joy motivated me to make better clothes, sacrificing sleep to continue sewing. Eventually, this led me to a job in fashion, where I studied formally and worked hard. By the age of 25, I had started my own company. Now, I am recognized in magazines as an up-and-coming, hard-working CEO. You're lying. You, that poor girl? It's not a lie. Bella really worked hard and became a CEO. But I guess someone who only knows how to belittle others wouldn't understand. Because I've lived for the people important to me, I've become who I am today. All thanks to our mother who devoted her entire life to us. But I suppose you'll never understand, not in a lifetime. Just then, Grandma suddenly charged at me, screaming. Ah. But in an instant. Humph. Ah. Enough of this nonsense, you old hag. Christina quickly subdued her. I called the police, and 5 minutes later, they took a still ranting Grandma away. I didn't take karate and judo for this, you know. But thanks to Christina, we're safe. Thank you. Heh. A few days later, Grandma was released from police custody. She had been so incoherent at the station that they suspected dementia, and she was admitted to a care facility. Naturally, her pension was quickly depleted with the facility's fees, and she reportedly spends her days yelling, "My money! Where's my money?" Meanwhile, for us. Bella, that's not fair. If you don't eat quickly, I'll eat it all. Hey! Leave some for me. I'm taking Sophia's. Here we are, at a top-tier hotel in France, enjoying the buffet. This incredibly happy and luxurious time is all thanks to the sisters who stayed by my side and our wonderful mother who deeply loved us. Thank you, Mom.